Valentine's Day isn't only for couples. You can make a beautiful Valentine's Day card for some of your best friends, too. Today on Stamp TV, I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy card project that makes the perfect Valentine's Day card for your besties. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need for this project. First, you're going to need some of the papers from the new True Love Stamp TV kit. And I am using one of the pattern papers from the True Love pattern paper pack. Then I made a card base here out of our 120-pound heavy base weight white. Then I grabbed one color that wasn't in the True Love kit. This is our Innocent Pink cardstock. But you can use any pink cardstock. You can use the one in the kit. Then you're going to need some black cardstock, and I'm using our black onyx. You're also going to need some ribbon, and this is our black organdy ribbon, also found in the True Love Stamp TV kit. You're going to need some stamps. And I've chosen the dress form stamp from the kit, the greeting that says True Friend, and the smaller heart. Going to need some dies, and I'm using the largest oval in the classic plain ovals kit by Spellbinders. And I have the lacy ovals die, and this is the longest die in that set too. I have a Swiss dot Cuttlebug folder and some 1/4 inch pop dots. Then you're also going to need some ink, and I'm using some of the Memento Angel Pink and Tuxedo Black, and I'm also using some Versamark ink because I'm going to do a little embossing, and to do the embossing I'm going to need an anti-static pad and some black embossing powder, and I'm using the Ranger Super Fine Detail Powder because my image is very detailed and I don't want that to be smudged, or I don't want that embossing powder to swell up too much where it loses the detail. You're also going to need some adhesive and some good scissors. Okay, so to begin, one of the things that I like to do, and I certainly don't do enough, is to stamp directly on pattern paper. I would like my focal image of the piece to be on this beautiful paper. You can see all this beautiful distressing that's already in the paper. You don't have to do any of that work yourself. So I'm going to start with the dress form. And I'm going to ink this up with some Versamark ink because I want to emboss this image and make it look a little bit more like wrought iron. So that's nice and inky. Then I'm just going to quickly run my anti-static pad over the piece of pattern paper to remove any static and oil from my fingers or the environment. And then I'm going to stamp that right in the center of this piece of pattern paper. Now, using a piece of cardstock that's folded in half, I'm going to sprinkle this detail black powder over my image. Now, because the pattern paper is a little bit thinner and it's a lot smoother, you will get some of the embossing powder that just won't let go of the paper. But just blowing over it nice and forcefully will remove all of that excess. You can see there, it's all gone. And then using my heat tool, and the heat tool that I really like is the Marvy heat tool. There are other great ones out there as well. I'm going to emboss this image. And it seems to me, I don't know if it's necessarily true or not, but it sure seems to me that embossing on a thinner pattern paper seems to take less time than embossing on cardstock. I don't know why it seems to come up so fast. Maybe it's less fibers to heat up or something, I'm not sure. But there, I've embossed that image, and that's ready to be cut. So I'm going to cut that image out using the Cuttlebug. And I'm going to start with my A plate and then B plate. And then I'm going to lay that image on top. Then using the plain oval, I'm going to line that up and place the C plate gently on top. Okay, and run it through. I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to lay the rubber mat on top, and using a B plate on top instead of the C plate, and a little piece of chipboard. I'm going to run that through because I'd like to emboss around the perimeter. So now that image is cut and embossed. There's a little edge there just going around the whole perimeter. My next step is going to be to cut one of these lacy ovals. So I'm going to lay down my B plate and then my C plate on top and cut that out. Now sometimes with the more intricate dies, it's a good idea to just flip it over and check to make sure it looks like it's all cut out. If it doesn't look all cut out to you, flip it over and then cut it one more time. Just sometimes flipping it over will help finish out any little areas that may not have cut perfectly the first time. There we go. And then I will pop that out. And you can see I have that pretty lacy oval. Now while I have the Cuttlebug out, I'm going to go ahead and emboss my piece of pink cardstock. So I'm going to place this so that the piece of pink is pressed up against the top, and then once I fold it over, I can make sure that the dots line up. I want the dots to be nice and straight. I don't know if that bothers anybody else when they're not, but it bothers me. Okay, that should be pretty good. There we go. Okay. And then the B plate on top of that, and run it through. And now I have that pretty Swiss dot pattern on there. And now it's time to assemble my card. So here's my card base, and I'm going to attach that Swiss dot piece onto my black piece using a little bit of my dot adhesive. Line that up. There we go. That looks good. Then I'm going to add some ribbon across the center of the card. And I really want to try to get this right in the center because that oval is going to take up most of the card, and I would like the oval, I'd like that to run right in the center of the oval. And to make sure that it's straight, I'm just going to follow one of the patterns of the Swiss dot underneath. So that's about center. Doesn't have to be perfect, but close to the center. There we go. And this whole piece is going to go right on top of my card base. And one little strip down the center there. Oops. There we go. There is my panel. Now I'm just going to brush away any little strings that I see attached to this. Sometimes you get those little frays and you just brush those off, get those out of the way. And now I'm going to attach my focal image onto this lacy oval. And you can see because it's been embossed and heated up, the paper's a little bit warped, but once you stick it on there, it won't be warped anymore. There we go. And that's ready to go on top of my card. Now rather than just tape it right onto the card, I want to give it a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to add some of the 1/4 inch pop dots. And these are just going to go on the top, one on each side, and on the bottom, one on each side. You want to kind of stay away from the middle because of the ribbon. You don't want to just stick it to the ribbon. You really want it to be stuck to the cardstock. And I'm going to Pop that right on top there. Just like that. And that is a pretty card. Now I'm going to put the inside, I'm going to do the inside. A lot of you always say to me, I'm not sure what to do to the inside of my card. Well, what I'm going to recommend for this card is to use a little bit of the Angel Pink Memento ink. And you're going to do 2 hearts. You're going to do one like that, and then stagger the other one, stamp it a little bit on top so that they're interlocking. And let me see if I can get in a little tighter on that so you can see that. See the way they're just interlocked there by stamping one this way and one just a little bit on top of it. And then I'm going to finish it up with a greeting. I'm going to use the the True Friend greeting from the True Love Stamp TV kit. I'm going to line that up right on the line there so I know it's straight. And I'm going to ink it up with a little bit of Memento ink, black, and stamp that right there. There we go. Then I've got room up top to write to my friend and to sign it underneath, and it's decorated on the inside to coordinate with the outside. One of the things I love about the True Love Stamp TV kit is that the images and greetings work any time of the year, not just Valentine's Day. With stylish images and all occasion greetings, you will reach for the stamps in this kit over and over again.